Ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you today to share a truth that has shaped the lives of the most successful individuals throughout history. Your feelings, when left unchecked, can be the greatest obstacle to your success, but when controlled and directed, they become the fuel that propels you toward greatness. The greatest battles are not fought on battlefields, nor in the marketplace, nor in the political arena. The greatest battle you will ever fight is within yourself, the battle to control your emotions. Mastering your emotions is not a matter of denying them, but of directing them. You are the captain of your soul, the master of your fate, and if you can discipline your emotions, there is no goal beyond your reach. Here are 5 key principles that will empower you to take charge of your emotions and, in turn, take charge of your life. Before we begin, let me share a secret with you. Success favors those who take action. Opportunities knock, but only those who are prepared and willing to act will seize them. So, here is your first step toward success today. Hit that like button, because every act of support builds momentum. Subscribe, because growth comes from continuous learning. Tap the bell icon, because opportunity waits for no one, and neither should you. Share this message, because the fastest way to elevate yourself is by lifting others. Now that you've taken the first step, let's dive into the wisdom that will change your life. Your emotions do not arise out of thin air. They are born from the thoughts you entertain. Every feeling, whether it be joy, fear, anger, or determination, has its roots in the thoughts that dominate your mind. If you wish to gain mastery over your emotions, you must first master your thoughts. This is an unbreakable law of success. Consider for a moment how easily a single negative thought can send you into a downward spiral. You wake up in the morning feeling optimistic, but then you remember a past failure, a rejection, or a fear that has been lurking in the shadows of your mind. Almost instantly, your energy shifts. Doubt creeps in, hesitation follows, and before you know it, you are paralyzed by inaction. What changed? Not your ability, not your potential, only your thoughts. The mind is a garden, and your dominant thoughts are the seeds. If you plant weeds, thoughts of fear, doubt, and limitation, you will harvest failure and frustration. But if you cultivate seeds of confidence, ambition, and determination, you will reap a life of achievement and fulfillment. You cannot expect a garden of roses if you allow thorns to take root. In the same way, you cannot expect a life of success if your mind is filled with negativity. To master your emotions, you must take full responsibility for the thoughts you allow to occupy your mind. This is not an easy task, but it is a necessary one. Most people let their minds wander aimlessly, reacting to circumstances instead of shaping their reality. But those who rise above, those who achieve greatness, understand that their thoughts are the architects of their destiny. They choose their thoughts deliberately, just as a sculptor chisels away at a block of marble to create a masterpiece. You must do the same. Train yourself to recognize negative thoughts the moment they appear. Do not let them take hold. Replace them with empowering thoughts, thoughts that move you forward rather than hold you back. Instead of dwelling on failure, focus on lessons learned. Instead of fearing rejection, think of every attempt as a step closer to success. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by obstacles, remind yourself that within every difficulty lies an opportunity. Understand this: your emotions will follow wherever your thoughts lead. If you fill your mind with powerful, positive, success-oriented thoughts, your emotions will reflect that energy. You will feel motivated, confident, and unstoppable. But if you allow your mind to dwell on fears and doubts, your emotions will mirror that as well, leaving you feeling weak, anxious, and incapable. Master your thoughts, and you will master your emotions. Master your emotions, and you will master your destiny. The difference between those who succeed and those who fall short is not merely intelligence or talent, it is the ability to control their reactions. The weak allow their emotions to dictate their actions, responding impulsively to every challenge, setback, or provocation. The strong, however, understand that true power lies in measured response. They do not react without thought. They act with intention and purpose. Consider how often people sabotage their own success simply because they fail to control their immediate reactions. A moment of anger leads to words they cannot take back. A moment of fear causes them to hesitate and miss an opportunity. A moment of doubt convinces them to quit when they are only inches from victory. These impulses are like wild horses, ready to pull you off course if you do not take control of the reins. Every situation you face in life offers you a choice. You can react out of emotion, or you can respond with purpose. The first is easy but dangerous, leading you into a cycle of regret and wasted energy. The second requires discipline, but brings power, control, and results. When you pause and choose your response wisely, you put yourself in command. You no longer allow circumstances to dictate your behavior. Instead, you dictate the outcome. Imagine for a moment that you are confronted with criticism. The impulse is to defend yourself, to lash out, or to shut down. But a person who acts with purpose does something different. They listen, they analyze, and they ask themselves, what can I learn from this? How can I turn this into an advantage? Instead of reacting emotionally, they respond strategically. Or consider a moment of failure. Many people react with frustration, disappointment, and even despair. But the person who moves with purpose understands that failure is not the end, it is simply data, feedback that shows them how to improve. They do not waste time complaining or feeling defeated. Instead, they adjust, refine, and push forward. Their response is not dictated by emotion, but by their ultimate goal. Training yourself to respond with purpose rather than impulse is one of the greatest disciplines you can develop. It requires mindfulness, self-awareness, and, most importantly, the ability to pause before reacting. In that pause lies all your power. The power to change the course of your actions, the power to redirect your energy, and the power to make decisions that align with your highest aspirations. You must remind yourself daily, every reaction is a choice. Every situation, no matter how difficult, offers an opportunity to grow. When you master your reactions, you master your circumstances. And when you master your circumstances, you master your destiny. Every person, no matter how strong or successful, encounters negativity in life. It comes in many forms: failure, rejection, doubt, criticism, frustration, and even heartbreak. For most people, negative energy is a burden, something that weighs them down and keeps them stuck in a cycle of self-pity and inaction. But those who achieve greatness understand a different truth. Negative energy is not your enemy. It is raw power waiting to be transformed into fuel for success. Think of the most successful individuals in history. They were not free from hardship, nor were they immune to negative experiences. In fact, many of them faced overwhelming adversity, but instead of allowing that negativity to consume them, they transmuted it into determination, focus, and drive. They turned rejection into resilience, failure into wisdom, and frustration into motivation. Instead of being weakened by negativity, they became stronger because of it. Imagine a fire burning inside you. That fire can either be extinguished by negativity, or it can be fed by it. The difference lies in your mindset. Most people allow negative energy to drain them. They dwell on setbacks, replay failures in their minds, and let criticism shake their confidence. This is like throwing water on the fire of ambition. But those who rise above use negativity as fuel. Every failure, every rejection, every moment of doubt becomes another log added to the fire, intensifying their drive, strengthening their commitment, and pushing them closer to their goals. Think of anger, frustration, and disappointment. These emotions are intense. and they carry immense energy. But most people let that energy go to waste. They complain, they blame others, they retreat into inaction. But what if, instead of wasting that energy, you redirected it toward something productive? What if you took the fire of frustration and used it to push yourself harder, to work smarter, to refine your skills, and to prove yourself not just to others, but to yourself? This is how champions are made. When they lose a competition, they do not sulk, they train harder. When they face rejection, they do not give up. They refine their approach. When they fail, they do not see it as the end, they see it as a lesson, a stepping stone toward their next success. They do not let negative energy consume them. They convert it into a force that drives them forward. There is a principle in physics that states energy cannot be destroyed, only transformed. This is just as true in life as it is in science. You cannot simply erase negative emotions, nor should you try to suppress them, but you can transform them. You can take the energy of frustration and turn it into fuel for action. You can take the sting of failure and turn it into wisdom for the future. You can take the pain of rejection and turn it into unstoppable resilience. The next time you feel negativity creeping in, do not fight it. Harness it. Instead of letting it weaken you, channel it into your ambition. Use it as a reminder of what you want and why you are willing to fight for it. The most powerful individuals are not the ones who avoid negativity, but the ones who know how to transform it into a weapon for success. So ask yourself, are you letting negativity defeat you, or are you using it to push yourself forward? The choice is yours, and in that choice lies your true power. Emotional resilience is not something you are born with, it is something you build. One habit at a time. The ability to remain strong, composed, and focused in the face of adversity is not a matter of luck or natural talent. It is the result of deliberate effort, repeated actions, and consistent mental conditioning. Just as an athlete strengthens their body through daily training, you must strengthen your mind through disciplined habits. Most people allow their emotions to control them. They react impulsively to challenges, crumble under pressure, and let setbacks shake their confidence. But those who achieve greatness understand that emotional resilience is a skill, one that can be developed and refined. They know that just as muscles grow stronger through resistance, the mind grows stronger through adversity. But this strength does not come automatically. It is built through the habits you cultivate every single day. One of the first habits of emotional resilience is controlling your inner dialogue. The words you speak to yourself determine your emotional state. If you constantly tell yourself, "I can't handle this," "I'm not good enough," or "this is too difficult," your emotions will follow that script and you will feel weak, incapable, and overwhelmed. But if you train yourself to say, "I am in control, I will find a way, and every challenge makes me stronger," your emotions will shift accordingly. Your mind believes what you tell it, so choose your words wisely. Another powerful habit is exposure to controlled adversity. Just as lifting heavier weights strengthens your muscles, exposing yourself to small challenges strengthens your emotional resilience. This could mean pushing yourself to do something uncomfortable every day, speaking up in a meeting, waking up earlier, sticking to a commitment even when you don't feel like it. These small acts of discipline train your mind to handle pressure, making you more resilient when bigger challenges arise. Equally important is developing the habit of emotional regulation. When a stressful situation arises, most people react impulsively, snapping in anger, shutting down in frustration, or panicking in fear. But those who are emotionally resilient pause before they react. They take a deep breath, step back, and assess the situation logically. This ability to pause and reframe is a skill that must be practiced daily. The next time you feel an emotional reaction rising within you, stop. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, is this reaction serving me, or is it weakening me? Over time, this habit will become second nature. Surrounding yourself with the right influences is another crucial habit for emotional resilience. Your environment shapes your mindset. If you are constantly around negative, fearful, or reactive people, their emotional patterns will rub off on you. But if you deliberately seek out mentors, books, and experiences that reinforce strength, wisdom, and perseverance, your mind will absorb those qualities. Make it a habit to consume content that uplifts you and to associate with people who challenge and inspire you. One of the most underrated habits of emotional resilience is taking care of your physical state. Your body and mind are deeply connected. A tired, malnourished, and overworked body will struggle to maintain emotional stability, but a strong, well-rested, and properly fueled body supports a resilient mind. Make it a daily habit to exercise, eat well, and get enough sleep. Something as simple as a brisk walk, deep breathing, or stretching can have a profound impact on your emotional state. Lastly, develop the habit of perspective shifting. When faced with adversity, most people see only obstacles, but the emotionally resilient train themselves to see opportunities within every challenge. They ask, "What is this teaching me? How can I use this to grow? Where is the hidden advantage?" This mental habit transforms setbacks into stepping stones, making you unstoppable in the long run. Remember, emotional resilience is not built overnight. It is a process, a daily commitment to training your mind just as you would train your body. But the reward is immense. A life where you are in control, where challenges do not shake you, and where you can pursue your goals with unshakable confidence. The key is consistency. The habits you build today will determine the strength you have tomorrow. In life, the difference between those who achieve greatness and those who remain lost in mediocrity is a simple yet powerful principle: the ability to fix your eyes on a definite chief aim and pursue it with unwavering focus. The mind, like a powerful engine, can drive you toward any destination, but only if it is given a clear direction. Without a definite aim, that same engine wanders aimlessly, expending energy without producing results. Consider the power of concentration. A magnifying glass, when used casually, is just a piece of glass. But when held steadily over dry leaves with the sun beaming through, it creates fire. The same sunlight unfocused does nothing. The difference is not in the sunlight itself, but in its concentration. The same principle applies to your life. If your energy, time, and thoughts are scattered across too many directions, you will make little progress. But if you focus all your energy on one definite chief aim, nothing can stop you. Most people drift through life without a clear goal. They react to circumstances instead of shaping their own destiny. They start projects and abandon them at the first sign of difficulty. They chase fleeting distractions instead of committing to a long-term vision. This lack of focus is the reason why so many people fail to achieve their dreams, not because they lack talent or intelligence, but because they have not trained themselves to stay locked onto a single, burning purpose. To fix your eyes on your definite chief aim, you must first define it with absolute clarity. Vague desires produce vague results. If you say, "I want to be successful," that is not enough. What does success mean to you? Is it building a business? Is it mastering a skill? Is it becoming a leader in your field? Be specific. The sharper your vision, the easier it becomes to take decisive action. Once your chief aim is defined, commit to it fully. Half-hearted effort will never produce full-scale success. You must dedicate yourself to your goal as if your very life depends on it. Imagine a ship sailing toward a distant island. If the captain constantly changes course, hesitates, or doubts whether the island is even real, the ship will never arrive. But if the captain keeps the island fixed in his mind and adjusts his sails with determination, he will reach his destination no matter how strong the waves. You must be that captain for your own life. Distractions will try to pull you away. The world is filled with temptations, social media, entertainment, other people's opinions, and the fear of failure. But those who succeed understand that every distraction is a step away from their goal. They train their minds to say no to anything that does not serve their purpose. Every morning they remind themselves of their definite chief aim. Every decision they make is filtered through a simple question: does this bring me closer to my goal, or does it pull me further away? Obstacles will arise. There will be moments when progress feels slow, when setbacks make you question your path. But here is the truth. Obstacles exist only to test your commitment. They are not signs to quit. They are challenges designed to make you stronger. When you keep your eyes on your goal, setbacks become temporary and failures become lessons. Those who are easily discouraged were never truly committed, but those who remain steadfast despite all difficulties will always find a way to victory. You must develop an obsession with your definite chief aim. The world rewards those who are consumed by their purpose. Read about your goal daily. Visualize it. Talk about it. Study those who have already achieved what you seek. Let it occupy your thoughts so fully that every fiber of your being is aligned toward its attainment. The moment your goal becomes an unshakable part of you, the universe will begin to move in your favor. Doors will open, opportunities will arise, and the right people will enter your life, all because you refuse to waver. There is immense power in an unwavering mind. A person who is truly committed, who refuses to be distracted or discouraged, is unstoppable. Decide today that you will fix your eyes on your definite chief aim and never look away. No matter how long it takes, no matter what obstacles stand in your way, you will persist until you achieve what you have set out to accomplish, because the moment you make that decision, your success is no longer a possibility. Ladies and gentlemen, remember this: the one who controls their feelings controls their future. The one who masters their emotions masters their fate. You have the power to rise above any situation, any hardship, any doubt. So today, make a decision. Decide to rule over your emotions rather than be ruled by them. And in doing so, you will unlock the door to a life of purpose, success, and fulfillment. Now go forth and take charge of your destiny. Thank you.